What's up everybody, it's Andy here and welcome to my Game Week 11 preview, a weekly video where I take you through my FPL team, what the changes are that I'm looking to make, what transfers, etc, captaincy, and kind of what I'm looking at doing going forward, which players I'm looking at getting rid of, and which ones are nailed in my team. So we're just going to jump straight into it. It's been a bad couple of weeks for me, a few rank drops from the last couple of weeks, but hopefully a green arrow this week, so let's see how we're going to do it. So this is the team for this week. I'll start off with the kind of obvious players that just nothing's going to happen with them, and I'll go through my captain options and kind of my transfer options at the end. So starting in goal, I think I've said it a few times over the last couple of weeks, Newcastle's run of good fixtures is coming to its end. I think this is probably the last week where I really want to play Elliott. Foster, you could argue, is potentially a better bet against Huddersfield. Huddersfield don't have too many goals in them, but I think Bournemouth away from home is also going to be similar. So I'm going for the home guy. Going to go with Elliott. Hopefully he can repay me after not getting a clean sheet against Burnley. In defence, it kind of picks itself. Sutton's not playing. Long's now not playing either. You know, Sutton could come back into the team any time, but I can't count on that. It's also away to Swansea, so I'm not looking at playing him. So I've got Norton at home to Brighton. I think that looks like a good clean sheet. Ward against Southampton. Again, Southampton, I'm never too confident in them scoring goals. Burnley tend to not concede many, whether it's home or away, so I'm hoping they can get a clean sheet. I'm not really looking at transferring him out because I want him for the longer term, probably, or at least I want a Burnley defender in there. So I come on to my transfers in a minute. So I'm going to play him against Southampton. Hopefully that's an away clean sheet. Hopefully they can keep Southampton at bay. And then Jones is another tough one because we have seen Chelsea do well against Man United in the past. Hazard in particular kind of can torment us. I know Herrera in the Cup last year did really well against him, but not so well in the league. And Chelsea absolutely destroyed us in the last couple of seasons. So I'm hoping that we can sort that out. Jones will be back. He got rested in the Champions League tonight. I'm recording this on Tuesday night, by the way, so anything that happens on Wednesday going onwards, I won't have seen. But Jones got rested tonight. I think it was Bailly and Smalling or Bailly and Blint that played in the central roles. Either way, it wasn't Jones, so he's going to be okay. I think going forward, it just looks like great value. So I'm going to play him every week. There's a chance of a clean sheet just by the way Mourinho plays against the top side. So he's obviously staying. And then we go into midfield. So Richarlison kind of, I suppose, flattered to deceive, disappointed last week. A lot of us got him in for a nice home fixture. Didn't deliver the points, missed another sitter. What I will say with him is he has been doing better away now. I still think some of that's down to the fixtures, but sometimes you just can't look past the stats. They're saying he's going to do better away from home. Everton's a really good fixture right now. They've looked really poor this season, especially in the last couple of weeks. So I think Watford could do well there, and I think hopefully Richarlison will be the one to do it. Deeney's out now, so we might see either Richarlison pushing up a little bit or Gray coming in. We'll have to see how Richarlison does with him. I think he'll still be okay. He's still going to be quite attacking, so I'm really happy with him this week. Eriksen, not so happy with him if Kane's not in the team, but he's got Crystal Palace at home. I'm definitely keeping him. I don't think Kane might even be back for this week. We're going to come on to that in a minute. Even if he's not, he's going to be back soon after the international break, unless he picks up another injury. So I want to keep Eriksen. He's done really well for me this season. They've got some nice fixtures coming up. Salah, you've just got to forgive him for that penalty. It sounds like he's probably going to be off them anyway. I still think he's a good goal threat. We've seen he's able to get assists as well. He's got a big score coming. He's already had a couple of double-figure hauls. I see absolutely no reason to get rid of him right now. He's my favoured Liverpool midfielder, and to be fair, that's quite an easy pick when Mane and Coutinho are injured, but still, he's the one I want. West Ham have got injury troubles at the back this week. I think Liverpool tend to do well against West Ham. Someone in the comments can correct me if that's not true, but just remember in past seasons, it's always been a fixture which they seem to have done well in, so I'm going to go for Salah. I'm definitely going to play him. I'm even considering for captain, which we'll come on to in a minute. And then Sterling. What more is there to say about Man City? Not even players, not even midfielders, but attackers in general. I think we'll have to see what happens in the Champions League, but I think there's a good chance Sterling plays against Arsenal. I think there's a chance we may see the return of Aguero and Jesus as well. We'll see how they do. I don't know when the last time those two played up front together was in the league. But yeah, I think there's a chance Sterling plays. Even if he doesn't, he can come on and get me points. I just don't think this is the right week to take him out. But we'll talk about Man City players a bit more in a sec. Up front, Jamie Vardy, like I said in my review, he finally scored for me. I think Stoke's a good fixture. I don't know about Puel coming in. We saw him at Southampton. He was a defensive manager. Will that transfer into Vardy points? It doesn't sound that likely. But hopefully he's going to kick on along with the rest of the Leicester team, and they can do the business against Stoke. I think on a wild card later on, I'll get rid of him probably. I don't think he'll be in my team, but right now I don't really have a good reason to get rid of him. unless I'm going to go for someone like Abraham. So for now, Vardy stays. And then Jesus and Aguero, got to kind of talk about them in tandem. Jesus hasn't performed again last week. I do think in the longer term, if you're going to pick one, it's probably got to be Aguero. But minutes-wise, who knows who's going to get the most over the coming weeks? There's a lot of fixtures to come after the international break, especially over Christmas. Going to see a lot of rotation with those two. And I think longer term, I'm probably looking at getting rid of both of them. So Man City-wise, I may just go for a midfielder. And there's a few reasons for that. One, I think it looks like Pep is potentially starting to prefer playing with one up front instead of two. And I know Jesus can play wide, but it's not the same as having Sané or Sterling or Bernardo Silva, someone like that. So I don't know if he's going to keep playing two up front. We'll have to see about that against Arsenal. Two, they take up spots from players like Kane, Morata and Lukaku, who are priced quite similarly. And I think Kane and Lukaku in particular. I know Lukaku's looked poor. He looked poor again in the Champions League. Got a couple of assists in the league recently. We need him to start scoring goals. We know that he's kind of a flat-track bully, so hopefully he can keep doing that in the easier fixtures that Man United have got to come. Build up some confidence. It doesn't look like he's going to get back on penalties anytime soon. In the match tonight, he kind of went to take it, and Mourinho told Herrera to stop him from taking it. He didn't look too happy about that. I get that Mourinho doesn't want him taking them because he's poor at them, but that's not going to instill too much confidence in him. So I am kind of putting a lot into Lukaku and Man United for the good fixtures. Bearing in mind Pogba's not back yet, it could be a risk. But with Man City players, you just don't know if they're going to play. So that's kind of why I'm not writing off Jesus and Aguero by any means, but I think I prefer Kane and Lukaku. And yes, it costs a little bit more money, but I can make that up on wildcard by getting someone like Abraham in instead of Vardy. And then coming back to Man City players, so Sterling, the reason why I'm not so bothered about having a Man City midfielder that rotates is, one, they're quite explosive anyway, so if they do play, they tend to do quite well. They can come on and score. I know Aguero and Jesus can, but they're much cheaper than their counterparts. So Eriksen and Salah are kind of like $1 million, $1.5 million more in some cases than Sterling. So you can kind of justify fitting them in because they're a bit cheaper. Now, again, on wildcard, will I definitely keep them? I don't know. I may go someone like Zaha instead, or Gross, and just save a lot more cash and get someone who's going to start every week. But right now, I think I'm more happy with a Man City midfielder than I am with Jesus and Aguero. So that's kind of how it stands right now. Captain-wise, right now I'm on Aguero. I think if he plays against Arsenal, I really do think Man City are going to rip Arsenal apart. They've just looked the absolute business against any team this year. I think Arsenal are still weak at the back. If you've got a midfield of kind of De Bruyne, Silva, Sterling, Sané, like against Xhaka and Ramsey in the middle, I just don't see how Arsenal are going to cope. Maybe Wenger employs some special tactic which will stop them from playing and get them on the back foot, but I just don't see it. So I think if Aguero plays, he's going to do well, and I think there is a chance that he plays. But Salah, if you forgive the penalty, still looks attacking. I still think he's got more than a double-figure haul in. Well, he's obviously not going to get a triple-figure haul, but what I'm saying is he could get a brace and an assist, kind of like a 15, 16, 17-point week. West Ham, I've got problems at the back, so I'm thinking about switching to Salah. I know vice-captain's on Eriksen, but I'm probably not going to captain Eriksen. I think if Kane's back, then I'll think about it, but I just don't know about him right now. We've seen him play a bit deeper, and I want to see if that continues in the easier games. So he's kind of a wait-and-see for me. So I'm probably going to switch back to Salah or Aguero. To Salah as my vice-captain, maybe even my captain. But then transfer-wise also comes into it. So Kane, we found out today, seems to be back training. I'd say there's a very high chance they're going to risk him against Madrid, Real Madrid in the Champions League tomorrow. So we'll have to see what happens there. If he does play, then I'm kind of in two minds. One, if he was definitely fit to play and he's feeling good, why would they not play him against Palace? They're going to obviously want to win in the league. I don't know how much Pochettino trusts Llorente. Obviously, Son played against Man United. Maybe that was tactical for pace. Llorente didn't look good when he came on. But Harry Kane, we've seen it. When he's fit, he plays. So I think there's a chance that if he plays against Madrid, he plays against Palace. And I know that Spurs have not done well so far this year at Wembley against the weaker sides. But I would still love to captain him in that game. But it would mean doing a reverse of my transfer last week, so Aguero back to Kane. And I don't know if that's worth it when Aguero could do really well against Arsenal. So I'm in two minds there. The thing is, if I don't do that, and I'm looking at wildcarding next week, then I've got a free transfer this week that I might as well use. There's not really a defensive one I probably want to make. So then it comes down to a punt. I can't really get rid of any of my midfielders because I've got money tied up in them. So it would be a Jesus punt for someone like Daniel Sturridge, maybe. He's got a pretty good record again, I think, against West Ham. If Coutinho's out, then there's a chance he plays. He'll probably play down the centre with Firmino on the left. Of course, there's always a chance that maybe they play they bring in someone like Oxlade-Chamberlain to play down one of the wings instead and have Salah and Chamberlain down the wings and Firmino up front. But I think Sturridge will just play again if he's fit. We'll have to, again, see what happens in Europe this week. So I might take a punt on Daniel Sturridge, but in my head that just sounds awful. So if I don't get Kane in and I don't punt on Sturridge, I could just save a free transfer. But it means I'm going into an international break where I've almost decided to wildcard and I'm still not going to do it. Now, I've looked at possibly a transfer like this after the international break for 4 points, which would be Sterling, Jesus and Aguero. So all my Man City players gone and bring in Zaha, Kane and Lukaku. That would overhaul my front line and still give me the rest of the team that I'm kind of happy with. But Sutton and Long are not going to last me much longer. They're not even lasting me any... They're no good to me now anyway, so lasting longer, of course, that's not going to happen. Carroll, I think Loftus-Cheek is better. And goalkeeper-wise, I need a new goalie. So I've pretty much told myself and convinced myself it's going to be a Game Week 12 wildcard. So I need to make a punt this week or just drop my transfer. I don't really want to burn a transfer. I don't think I've got the perfect team to allow a luxury like that. So basically, I'm going to wait and see what happens in the Champions League and in the European matches. I'll be streaming on Thursday. Hopefully, I'll have a better idea of what I want to do then. Maybe Kane back, maybe just a punt up front. We'll decide who in the stream maybe, but I don't want to make early transfers this week after what happened last week. So that's my team. I forgot to say at the start, I'm on 553 points total. I've got one free transfer, and I couldn't update my rank in the review because it hadn't updated, but I'm 266,896 in the world. So it did go down this week, but not as bad as I thought. I think when I did the review, I was ranked 340k, so the points I got yesterday kind of shot me back up the rankings a bit. So hopefully this will be a better week. If you've been able to follow what I've said in terms of transfers, let me know in the comments below what you think. It basically comes down to, do I get Kane back in? Do I go for a punt? And do I use my wildcard next week? I think the wildcard has to be used soon, but I'm probably not going to change my midfield much, which I don't like. I've said that all season. That's one of the reasons I haven't wanted to wildcard, but there we go. So if you have followed that, let me know in the comments below what you think. What do you think my best transfer is? And if you're looking at a punt up front, who should I go for Jesus? No money in the bank, so I can't afford anyone else. I've got about 10.4, 10.5 million to spend. Let me know who you think. Let me know who you're doing. Who's your captain this week? Are you just going to go back to Kane, whether he plays in Real Madrid or not, if you think he's going to be back, or are you just going to go somewhere different? I think, like last week, there's definitely the option of going different this week. So let me know what you think. If you've enjoyed the video, as always, give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, subscribe, hit the bell. That'll let you know when all my videos are going live. I tend to do a review just after the game is finished, a preview just before it's about to start, and then 2 streams either side. So my next stream will be 9:30 PM on Thursday UK time, and I'll answer all your questions in the chat. No pre-submitted questions. We just chat about whatever you want to chat about, usually FPL. And we go from there. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We really appreciated. Appreciate all your support recently. The channel's growing really well, so let's keep that up. But yeah, good luck in Game Week 11. I hope I do really well. I hope you do nearly as good as me, because I want to shoot up those rankings, so I can't be too nice to you. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.